to our Essential Oils for Health program today. Our presenter, Renee Pakoj, is here with us to demonstrate about essential oils. We all want to be healthy. Essential oils are powerful plant allies that help support your body naturally. What we breathe in, put on our skin, our oil uses as fragrance and take internally all play a role in our health. Essential oils can be used daily in the air to help relax, applied externally as a fragrance, in cooking, for massage, meditation, and more. Did you know that 1 drop of peppermint oil is good for fatigued muscles after a workout to create a cooling sensation? Do you have more questions? You can ask via chat or questions sessions, and Renee will answer all your questions at the end of the presentation. Now, Renee is here and she will take over. Hi, Renee, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. So glad that the library is sponsoring this event, and health and wellness is really important, and especially at this point in time, I think we all really need to work on boosting our immune system, and that can be done with food and proper sleep and exercise. And I started a website, Organic Stepping Stones, and it incorporates that along with oils, because we can use oils, but if we eat garbage, our body isn't going to do very well. Or if we let stress get out of control, again, that's going to, take a toll on our bodies. So if you want, check out the Facebook page or the website, organicsteppingstones.com. It's, an educational site and recipes and DIYs. So today we're going to jump in about essential oils. And, in the description, she was reading about what we breathe in and what we put on our skin and how important that is. And I never used to consider that. And believe it or not, the average woman, by the time she leaves for work or starts her day at home or whatever the picture looks like, by breakfast time, an average woman has applied over 200 different chemicals that aren't necessarily supporting our body. So a lot of things, if it says do not ingest, if we're breathing those in or we're applying them on our skin, we're actually ingesting them. Our skin is our largest organ. And for me, my skin is really sensitive, so I can break out in a lot of different rashes from using products that have a lot of chemicals. And that's partly why I changed and I started the food journey that I did. I do fermentation and I do oils. So what are essential oils and why are they important? I think all of us have heard about herbs and how herbs can be used for healing, how good they are that we add them to our foods. And if you look up, if you have some type of condition and you say what herbs will help with that, you'll get a list of different herbs that are antifungal or anti-inflammatory and all of that. And so what an essential oil is you're taking all of the plant matter and you're distilling it. And the oils that I use, are first distillation only. And people are like, Renee, what's first distillation? So a perfect example of that is if I wanted to brew a cup of coffee and I use those grounds and I brewed a cup of coffee and I'm going to have this nice dark black cup of coffee. But let's say I use those same grounds and I brew a second cup of coffee. It's going to be a little bit lighter, and a third and a fourth. Essential oils can be 6 distillations. So distillation 1 compared to 6, even though they're both cups of coffee, are going to have very different properties. So quality of essential oils is really important. When I first started, I was just picking up things that, I could get from the store. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this stuff. And I didn't think that they had a whole lot of properties. And I went to an essential oil class and I kind of thought they were all crazy out there, but I happened to win a bottle of Peace and Calming and everybody's, woo! And I'm like, okay, I don't know what the excitement was. I didn't understand. I took it home and it sat on the counter, and I was having a really bad day one day. And I'm like, okay, peace and calming. It can't hurt. It's a blend of different oils. And I'm like, okay, I think they told me I just put a drop and smear it on. So I did that. And then I noticed a little while later that what seemed like such an awful day wasn't so bad. And I'm like, nah, it couldn't be the oils. I'm just not buying into that. So I tried it a few more times, and it was like, I can't believe how my mood had changed from putting on an oil. So at that point, I told my sister, okay, I got to get the oils. And she said, I couldn't wait for you. I already got oils. I'm like, no way. So they are strictly plant properties. And some people are like, but I don't know what to do or which ones to use. And my thought in that is, when you decide to eat an apple or a banana or a really delicious salad, you don't say, if I eat the salad, what part of my body is it going to help? And it's kind of that way for oils. They kind of go with, where your body needs them. Like, I want to mention about peppermint and what are the different ways that you can use any of these oils. There are many. I have back here in the corner my diffuser, where you put water in it and then you put drops of oil in it and then you diffuse in the air. So if somebody in the house is kind of not having their best day, I will often do peace and calming. I will do stress away, and I will add drops and then just turn it on, and I don't say anything. And it's amazing how that changes. And I think stress is always a part for all of us, but right now, some of us working from home or kids doing school, I think the stress level is a little bit higher right now. So along with sleep and eating good, oils will really help with that. So how do I use oils? So I'll take an oil like this, and I always just love to smell it and breathe it in deep. And you could do it in the diffuser. I could take one drop in my hand, looking for it to get out. And just so you know, when you're doing an oil, there's usually a big hole in the center. That's actually an air hole. And then there's a teeny tiny little hole. So when you go to start pouring, if your oil doesn't come out, just roll the bottle until you get to that spot. So you can take your oil, put them in your hands like that, and then cup it over your nose and your mouth. And you can breathe that in. And just a lot of times what I even like to do is say you can do like a prayer, you could do a mantra, you could do today I'm grateful for, and kind of pull it all in and just take a moment to appreciate where you are, to be thankful, and then if you have extra oil, I like to go on the back of my neck, because that's a great place for absorption. You could put it on your wrists as a good place to put it. Some oils are really delightful to smell, and then there's a handful that aren't so exciting, but they do amazing things. So I like to put them on the bottom of my feet. Another great place for absorption is the pores are really large, and a drop of oil will be in every cell in your body within 20 minutes. So it's pretty amazing how quickly an oil can work. So you can do it in a diffuser, like I said. You can apply it on your skin. They even have the white labeled oils, which are considered vitality oils, which mean it actually says that you can ingest these. So you can, like I like to in the morning, is I will have a full glass of water and I will put 1 or 2 drops of lemon essential oil in there. And that helps to clean some of the gunk out and gets my morning started. It's hydrating, and it actually flavors the water without adding any sugar or anything else. So another great way to absorb it. Also, sometimes if I run out of, an herb and I'm cooking and I'm like, oh, I needed a little bit of basil. They're so strong, I won't even use a whole drop in like pasta sauce. I'll just stick a toothpick in and do a toothpick swirl, and I can add it that way. A lot of oils are really potent, so a little goes a long way. Like I mentioned, the peppermint, 1 drop of this is equivalent to drinking 26 cups of peppermint tea. I find that just amazing. I mean, it's really potent. Like for peppermint water, which is really good for digestion, and peppermint is really good. It helps to bring oxygen into the body. But if I were to do 1 drop in a glass of water, really, really strong. So I'll take like an empty liter bottle of water. I'll only put 1 drop in, fill it up with water, and then I'll shake it. And then actually helps to hydrate, helps with digestion. If you've eaten something and your system isn't really good, if you didn't want to consume it that way, you can actually rub it on your stomach. And I wanted to say that, some people are like, yeah, I just don't know that much, Renee, and you need to know a lot, and you know a lot. But you know what? When I started, all I did was get an oil. I opened them up and smell it to see, what do I like? And I put it on. There are some really cool books, and I love this one. I just heard that they're not going to be printing them anymore. But I just wanted to give an example of this book because there are some things I can say and not say. But since I'm bringing this out from a book, I can say some of these things. I like what this book offers because it tells me the historical data on how peppermint was used. For example, it was regarded for soothing digestion. It goes into medical properties, and under here it's listed as anti-inflammatory, anti-parasitic, antifungal, and it goes on. Then it talks about uses for respiratory issues, arthritis, other things. But what I find is important is I don't believe that the oils actually heal your body. What I believe, and what has worked for me, is anytime you give your body something that is useful, like a pure essential oil, or you eat that great organic salad, what you're doing is you're providing your body with things that it needs. And then the body, in turn, does whatever it needs to do. And I want to share again about peppermint because it's about 3 weeks ago, I ended up with poison ivy. And last year, when I got poison ivy, I had a small area where the oil hit me here. Within 3 days, this one little area covered my chest, my breast, my stomach, and wrapped around my back, swollen, weeping like crazy. Of course, I had to go to the urgent care and get a steroid pack. And I've been doing that for over 20 years. I'm very susceptible. It can pop up in multiple positions. Well, I happened to be up at my parents' cottage. And my mom's like, Renee, have you tried peppermint oil? And I'm like, she's like, you're the oil girl. And I'm like, no. So I took this peppermint oil and I just kept wiping it. The streak went from my chin to here. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be awful. It's going to do my face. And I've had it before. And I just kept putting that oil on it. Kept putting that on like every 3-4 hours. And by day 11, it was completely gone. And I did a video and it's on my Facebook page, but I didn't do it until many days in because I wanted to know, was this really going to do something? And I did have an area that popped up here at about day 5, which isn't unusual for me, but this was the first time in over 20 years I have not had to go in and either get a steroid shot or a steroid pack. So did the peppermint oil heal me? No. I think I supplied my body with something that my body needed, the terpenes or septic terpenes, and there's all these big words. I'm not even sure how to, but my body was able to fight this off. And that was the first time in over 20 years. And so I just find it exciting. Some people have in their house a medicine cabinet. I have a wellness cabinet. So lots of different oils. And so you can use them for stress. And I talked about how to put them on. And there are other oils right now that I think are really important, like thieves. Great to boost your immune system. And we all need to have our immune system, boosted. And I know a lot of people like to add a drop of this. I'm not really a big coffee drinker, but I've heard 1 drop in your cup of coffee is amazing. I like to diffuse thieves, particularly in the fall when things are going on. And with everything going on right now in our environment, I have made a roller ball and I didn't pull it out with me, But this is another one that I will use oils until they get to probably about 1/4 inch in the bottom. And then I'll take off the orifice that I showed you on top where it drips out like that. I will fill it up with a carrier oil like coconut oil, fractionated coconut oil that stays liquid, or you can do jojoba, almond oil, apricot, whatever kind of oil you have. And then I swap out the top and I make a roller ball. And so easy and convenient, already diluted, and I can just put that on. So a great place that I like to use the thieves is along the spine. I'm trying to be, there are words and things that I can say and not say because of the FDA. And so I'm trying to be really careful on that. I like to go along the spine because sometimes things like to gather there. So we've been using that along our spine to help boost our immune system. It's a blend, and the name is Thieves because back when there was the Black Plague and people were dying and nobody wanted to go into houses, if one family member got it, whole families were wiped out with this plague. And so it's following a recipe that there used to be thieves that would go in and steal from people's houses. And when they were caught, it was like, how were you able to go in and steal from dead and dying and not be infected? And they used to have these masks and they would pack it with all of these different herbs. And so the name Thieves is a direct from that, except it is the distillation of the herbs. So, lots of important things, that you can use. So I just find them amazing. Another one that I love that I've been using a lot of, I just recently smacked my elbow on the edge of my car door. And so it's been like little on the tender side. And so there's an oil called Panaway, which is another blend. And on areas that don't feel good and are uncomfortable, it's amazing how you can put that on your skin. After a workout, peppermint is really good, which is a single oil. Panaway is really good. It really helps. Like when I'm at the Oak Park Farmers Market, we always have music, and there's a musician there, and she was telling me how she hurt her thumb and she was having a hard time playing her guitar. And I'm like, would you like to try an oil? And she's like, I don't really do it. I said, it's just a drop. Just if you want to put it on your thumb. She put it on her thumb and she's like, oh my gosh, Renee, I can play again. So I think there's things that we can do to support our bodies, to give our bodies what it needs. Over-the-counter and prescription medicine, I think, has its place, and it's a great thing when you need it. For myself and my family, we use those sparingly because our bodies are affected so much, and we seem to have a lot of side effects, and it just doesn't sit well with us. So my first is always go for the wellness cabinet. What's an oil? What can I use? And that's why I love having the reference books. I also have an app on my phone that I can look on the phone, and I can put up an issue, type it in, like whatever I'm trying to help support. Like if somebody is coughing and I want to help support the body in that, I can put that in. It'll list different oils and ways to use it to help support the body to get back to an equal balance. So oils can do many things. Another one that I absolutely love is frankincense. Frankincense and myrrh, okay? Like people are like, Renee, but oils, they're new. And I'm like, they're really not. Do you know how many times it was listed in the Bible on the use of frankincense and myrrh, that there was more value to those oils than actually gold and silver? And anointing and using oil. So frankincense, I love to do that, for meditation or spiritual or just kind of grounding. And you can even get into oils in terms of when we have memories and things, like, for instance, sometimes the smell of fresh baked bread or chocolate chip cookies growing up will make you think of, oh, my mom or my grandmother, my aunt, my dad, whoever used to do that, and it brings fond memories. Oils can also do that, and oils can actually help when there are things that are triggered in terms of calming and relaxing. So they're just a powerhouse. and they've done so much good. And I think it's so important that we get back into single things. And when I say that, I'm talking oils, I'm talking food, because if you don't know me, I'm a huge foodie, I'm a huge fermenter, I'm into bone broth, anti-inflammatory diets, lots of things that we can do. So anytime we can get into single things like just peppermint or just fruit. Can I recommend a reference site or app? I can do that, and I will actually tell you the one app that I use. It was a one-time fee. It's called Reference Guide for Essential Oils. I don't know if there's too much of a glare on the phone, just to let you see what that one looks like. I think this one was $6. That one I really like. There's another one, but I think it's a little bit more difficult. And I do really like, I know that I have Young Living oils are the oils that I use because they actually are labeled to ingest. Another thing you want to look for when you're doing oils, there should not be an expiration date. The oils should all be in dark bottles. You're welcome. They'll always be in dark bottles. And again, if it says do not ingest, I question. Unfortunately, the FDA has a ruling that says that companies can say that their oils are 100% pure, but they really only need to be 5%, and then the other 95 can be whatever they want to put in it. I don't understand that as a consumer, and I don't understand why that doesn't have to be on a label. There's even that with some products, other products that we buy, that manufacturers don't always have to put everything in there, which is, I think, very deceiving for us as consumers. Like
Renee, can I just interrupt you 1 minute? And somebody
Absolutely.
has a question. Somebody has a question here. Can you recommend a reference site or app or a book to learn more about what the oils are good for you?
Yes, Essential Reference Guide for Essential Oil is a great app. I like this Essential Oil Desk Reference.
Can you repeat it?
Yes, Reference Guide for Essential Oil is the one app.
Reference Guide
for Essential Oils. And I was trying to show what the app looks like there. I think there's not a glare on that. So when you go to download that app, and I think it's $5.99, a one-time fee on that. I also really love the, from Life Science, it's called Essential Oil Desk Reference. This has more information than I've ever touched on. It goes into, the parts of the body, on the feet, on the hands, on the ears, and how that, if you're looking to target an area where oils can go. I also love, if you have small children and babies, this is an older one from Deborah Rayborn, but she has Gentle Babies is this book. This is excellent, and I bought this one for my daughter because she has a 4-month-old and a 2.5-year-old, and it gives guidelines and how to use, how to mix, and what things to use for like indigestion, and it will give a description on how to use safely insect bites. So that's another great one. So there are lots of things out there. Another one that I like, but I think you can only get into it, is if you have a Young Living number, if you are a Young Living member, and it is Essential oils-testimonial.com. That's oils-testimonials.com. And you can search. So if I want to look for something, I can search something in the basic box. I only have the free membership. They have premiums too, and then a whole bunch of other people's things will come up where they will say, I tried this, it sort of worked, I added this. And so it's great that there's a lot of interaction and you can see what other people have tried and used. That is also a great one. Also, if you want, I'm on Facebook, and you can send me a friend request, Renee Pakoj, and I will accept that. We have a group that's called the Wellness Tribe, and lots of people will post questions or they will post information. It's oils along with other stuff. So that is a great one to get involved with. And there's also mine, which is Organic Stepping Stones Facebook page. But the Wellness Tribe has a lot, and there's no cost to be part of that if you are on Facebook. So you can also do that. There are lots of other great oils, and for me, this one is Digeize. It doesn't smell good, you guys. I'm just honest. Now, I should say that. My daughter thinks it's amazing. I don't, but I've been eating clean for so long now that there are still times I want to go out places, but my system doesn't necessarily like what I'm consuming. But hey, everybody wants to go out once in a while to a restaurant or somebody else's place. And I never question when I go to people's homes. I'm like, what are you serving me? I'm a polite, courteous guest, and I'm happy to be invited. But sometimes food just doesn't sit right for me. So this Digeize is amazing. I actually do 1 drop underneath my tongue, and it amazes me. And I was actually doing a class before this whole COVID thing, and we were at a gal's house, and somebody had brought some pizza. I'm not going to mention the place. And one of the gals had ate it, and I started talking about Digeize. And when I do personal classes, I always pass the bottles around. You're welcome to smell it. You're welcome to put a drop on, because once you experience the oils, I think it's very different than me just talking and sharing my stories. And Belle at the end said, I have to tell you, Renee, I was going to excuse myself and leave because I was about ready to have a stomach attack, and I didn't want to stink up the house we were in. She said, but you said to put it on my tongue. So she put it on her finger and she put it in her mouth, and she's like, okay, I'm a believer. And I would have never believed that. She said, it was your story. She said, but I actually experienced that. And the correct spelling on this is Digeize, I believe. Digeize is how you spell Digeize. And also, I'll let you guys know this. If you want to contact me after this, and if you have some questions that you don't want to ask via the group here, I'm more than happy to help you. And you can reach me at renee@organicsteppingstones.com. And I'm going to go one step further, you guys. So that was renee@organicsteppingstones.com. I'm going to give you my number, and that's 586-904-3700. 586-904-3700.
1 minute, Renee.
And you can shoot me a text.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. 1 minute, Renee. There is Melinda asked, how do you spell this oil again? Thank you. The reference guide.
It is Digeize. Digeize.
Okay.
Peppermint is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Digeize. But Digeize for me is just like over the top. I will do peppermint, but for me, 1 drop. And I even had my sister who knew every bathroom stop there was between her house and the elementary school that she taught at. And I'm like, Denise, try the Digeize. Just put a drop under your tongue. And she was like, I did it the first time and I couldn't believe it. She says, I had to do it a second time. So it is bringing in plant properties. And we all know how important plants are, and how, eating vegetables and fruits, and how that nourishes and gives our body what it needs. So if we can bring the oils in, which are plant-based, and another reason why I really love this company is they don't use any pesticides. They don't use any herbicides. You're welcome to go to their farms. You can actually help handpick the lavender fields. You can see their distillation processes. They are a research company. They do in-house testing. If it doesn't meet specs, they don't use it, which is good and not good. And I say that because sometimes I want something and it's temporarily out of stock because they just don't have any more plant material. And they're huge on sustainability, which I am also, in taking care of the earth. They actually went to a no waste facility. So they don't even have trash cans because they believe that we need to reuse everything. We need to be sustainable. So they either own or partner all their farms. And so we're not looking to strip the earth. Okay, that's the last thing we want to do when we're trying to get plant material to make essential oils, is we need to be responsible stewards of the earth. And so that's why I look for companies that have that in mind. And I also love the fact that they do third-party testing, non-affiliated with their company, because I want to know, like there was recently another company, and I'm drawing a blank to it, that actually has a class action lawsuit because they were promoting themselves as not having any chemicals in their product, and only to find out that they are. And I think it's so sad that as consumers, especially if we're label readers and we're trying really hard to do right by ourselves and our family, when stuff like that happens, it's just really disappointing, because it's almost sometimes very challenging to be clean and be good. And so I know my goal, and the goal in this household, is we shoot for 60% good and clean. And if I can hit 70%, woohoo, I'm calling that a win. I never shoot for 100%, because then I think I'm setting myself up for failure, because let's face it, guys, can we be 100% all of the time? And why not set ourselves up for success? So, for over here, the diffusers, there are 4 diffusers in the house: the bedroom, the kitchen, the family room, the upstairs, always diffusers going, always oils. I carry around my little bag, so when I go places, I have deep relief for areas that aren't comfortable. I have pan away, I have roller balls, and they all do wonderful things. And sometimes I just put them on because they smell good, but yet I know that they're doing stuff. And there are even oils that cross the blood-brain barrier. And so, one of the other things that I love, that the company has supplements, and I was taking supplements, and I don't do a lot of supplements, but I had went and talked with a naturopath, and we got on the topic, and there were some supplements that she recommended. And I said, so when I go to the store and I just buy a regular supplement, I said, what percentage is my body able to absorb? And she said about 30%. I'm like, 30%? So the other 70% is like wasted? And I says, well, what about these supplements that have essential oils infused in them? And she says, oh, your body will be able to absorb 70 to 80% because they piggyback onto the essential oils. And I'm like, no way. So just blown away on, how the oils can be used, how, our body can absorb those. And some people say, like, well, Renee, maybe I don't have any issues, so why should I even use oils? To me, that's like, I don't have any issues, so I just think I'm going to eat processed food and junk food until, things happen. And I think the more proactive we are with our health, that the better our bodies are. And our bodies need support, between what we're breathing in our environment. And like, I no longer use dryer sheets or fabric softeners. Those are like so toxic. I've gone to woolly dryer balls. I could put oils on the dryer balls, but I like to I'll do, here's another oil, and you can buy little spray tops. So again, I'll leave some oil in here, and then I'll just fill that up with water, and I can shake it. And this one happens to be lemon, and I can mist it. I actually have these in the bathroom where I've done combinations of oils. So if guests use the bathroom, they can spray it. I even did something similar to, you could spray a little in the toilet before you use the bathroom, and it like seals it. But so you can make bathroom sprays, you can make linen sprays. One of my favorite things to diffuse in the evening is to help me sleep. And so I love cedarwood, Roman chamomile, sometimes frankincense. Sometimes I do a single, and like some people love lavender. And what I find interesting is sometimes when people smell lavender, they're like, Renee, that doesn't really smell like lavender. And I'm like, this is 100% pure lavender, but a lot of the lavender that's out there on the market, I think the percentage is like 80% of the lavender that we smell is actually synthetic. So people are actually accustomed to smelling a synthetic rather than the actual plant material. And I'm like, no, I have lavender in my yard. And there's actually slight variation from bottle to bottle, because sometimes on the plants, there could be different varieties, and they're very particular on time of day and harvesting and that. So lavender for some people is very calming and relaxing, and other people are like, I can't do it. And I'm like, then don't. There are, I think Young Living has, I believe it's over 200 oils between single oils and blends. And I love using both the singles and the blend. A respiratory one that I really love is Raven. I love to put this one on my chest. Way back when, I used to use Vicks Vapor Rub. You know, it's petroleum based, and I never thought about it. And I'm not saying it's a good product or bad product if somebody's using it, but right now, would I want to take a petroleum based item, and now that I realize my skin is the largest organ, and put it on there for my body to absorb? I'm not sure petroleum is what I want to be putting on my body. Uma and I were talking about like coconut oil. I love coconut oil. She loves coconut. It's great to put on there, you know, to moisturize your skin. And so a lot of times I will do a little melting of coconut oil, and I will put a few drops of, it could be Raven, it could be peppermint, it could be eucalyptus. A lot of those are great for respiratory. And then put that on here, or put a little dab underneath my nose. The oils that I use, because I tried other brands and I wasn't feeling that I was getting out of oils, so I use Young Living brand is the brand that I've done, because I've done some research, and they've been around, I believe it's 26 or 27 years now, so they are not new to this game. You know, there's a lot of other companies that are recently coming out, and I know that you can get essential oils. I wouldn't be surprised if you can get them at the gas station now. But would I want to put that on my body? I don't know about that. I recently had a gal who's into soap making, and she says, yeah, I want you to try out this soap. And I'm like, great. And she says, will you let me know what you think? And I'm like, absolutely. An absolutely gorgeous bar of soap. I loved it. It was nice. She didn't have all kind of, you know, sodium lauryl sulfates, which are very toxic to us, that really get a lot of foaming action, which we don't need in our shampoos and stuff like that. But she said, what'd you think? I said, well, I liked it. However, and she's like, what do you mean? I said, I could smell like perfume. And to me, because I've been away from all of that and the synthetic smells, I could smell. And she's like, oh, well, I did use some fragrance oils and essential oils. So for me and for my, you know, I switched a lot of this because I was having respiratory issues, particularly with cleaning products and other things. So I now use Thieves Cleaner for everything in my house. So there were skin and respiratory issues that it was either, Renee, make some changes in your life, or I'm not sure I'm liking the road that I'm going down. You know,
Hi,
we
Renee.
all have.
Yes. Sorry, Renee, to interrupt you. There is one question from Deborah. What brand of oils is Renee demonstrating? You are showing all those bottles, right? Or what is the brand for those?
Yes. I use Young Living oils. I've been using them for, I think, 5 years, maybe going on 6 years. And I had tried other oils out prior to, and this is kind of the brand that I settled on and that I have found, you know, to be very helpful. So yeah, I carry them with me. There's always oils in my purse. I was recently working at a new job, and from looking up the back of my neck, I was feeling discomfort in that. And so I happened to have some deep relief on me, you know, put that on, or peppermint I would put on, or Panaway. So a lot of oils can be interchanged. Like somebody's like, oh, you got to have them in all. Would I like to have them all? Yes. Do I have them all? I have a lot, but no, I don't have them all. And I have my favorites, but they can be used in so many different ways. Like somebody's like, but Renee, I don't have a diffuser. I'm like, that's okay. A great way to get it into your home is you can have a cotton ball, and you can just put a couple of drops on a cotton ball, and you can put that by your AC unit or your heating unit, and that'll go into your home. I particularly love that if you're staying at a hotel room or something like that. They even have a Thieves spray. I don't have it in front of me, that you can spray on. Like I like to spray that on my pillows, because I don't know what the person in front of me had, you know, or put a diffuser, or in the cotton ball, put that in the vent, and that helps to clean the air from the previous occupant. So I love that. So yeah, if you don't have a diffuser, it's okay. Use a cotton ball. You can even do that in your car. Like if you're stuck in traffic and you're driving and it's like, oh my gosh, I just need to get home, and crazy drivers, you can put a drop on a cotton ball, or some people use a clothespin and put it on the vent, and you could put like a felt pad on there and put a drop there of something that's calming. You know, cedarwood, lavender, stress away. Oh my gosh, you guys. Stress Away is one of my favorites. I absolutely love Stress Away. It's an amazing blend of oils, very calming. Like when my daughter pops over and she sees that I'm a little, she goes into the cabinet, Mom, give me a Ritz, puts a drop on. Okay, thank you for sharing that. So yeah, essential oils, they're plant materials. You gotta love them. I'm just gonna double check my time here because I don't wanna go over. If you guys have any other questions, I can talk and talk, but
Okay.
I'd love to answer
One
any
minute,
personal questions.
1 minute, Renee, can I if they have any questions, I can allow them to talk and they can directly ask you questions. So I will do that last 15 minutes. If they have any questions, I
perfect.
can just unmute them and they can, I will allow them to talk to you and they can ask you questions. You can directly answer their questions. Okay?
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to share another oil that I absolutely love, and it's another blend called Valor. And this is actually one that I always put on before I do a class, like today, or when I'm doing something new and I'm feeling a little nervous because, you know, I'm putting myself out there and I'm sharing from my heart. And they actually call it like confidence in a bottle. This one is an amazing oil. They offer it in both like this and also in a roller ball, like they have their deep relief, which already comes. So if you don't want to make your own roller balls, like I love to do, because I'm a DIY girl, I'm a foodie, I'm a dehydrator, name it, I like to play with it. Not everybody is that way. So there are products that you can get. And so I love Valor, and I also like to use this on my back too. It's another great oil. Again, sometimes it's really hard for me to share things in a group because I'm trying to be very compliant. On a one-on-one, I can get into a little bit more detail on how I use things and stuff like that. But yes, let's see. Oh, okay, I was just seeing the question there pop up. But yeah.
No, I unmuted everybody. I asked them, I allowed them to talk. And also I requested them to unmute themselves. And if they have any questions, they can ask you, Renee.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So yes, oils, you can use them straight or neat, like what I was showing, just taking your bottle and doing a drop. That's what we call neat. You know, if you like, you can cut the oils. And obviously, if I'm using on children, I would always cut an oil. And what I mean by cut oil is I'm using a carrier oil. Oh yeah, that raven is just wonderful for respiratory. So always dilute, and the smaller the children, and that's why I like the book, The Gentle Babies by Deborah Rayborn for small children and babies. You're using like maybe 1 drop to like a tablespoon of oil. Again, we're gonna just, and a lot of times applying to the feet is a great place to put them on for children. So you can actually use these as perfume. You know, when I go out, it was like, you know, this one gal, I would always see her down at the market and she was like, oh, come here, let me hug you. What oil do you have? You always smell so good. So I like knowing that what I'm putting on my body and what we're using, you know, is having a positive effect. Because, oh, I thought there was a question. Because what we're doing is either having a positive effect or it's having a negative effect. Like my daughter, my youngest daughter, when I first got into oil, she's like, Mom, I appreciate what you're doing and I want to thank you. She said, but I'm not interested in, and please don't ask me anymore if I want any of your oils. And I'm like, fair enough. I'm not here to push anything on anybody. Well, she happened to get sick and she wasn't feeling good and she curled up on the couch in my living room and fell asleep. And I'm like, okay, I respect your wishes. I won't put any on. So I got cotton balls and I was dropping oils and I was putting it near where she was breathing, except the girl kept moving. So I would keep doing that. She slept for like 4 hours and she wakes up and I say, hey baby, I just want to know, how are you feeling? She says, you know, Mom, I am feeling so much better. And I'm like, that's great. She said, but the weirdest thing, I said, do tell. She said, there were these cotton balls all over the couch. And I just had to burst out laughing. But, you know, they can help, you know, when we need some support, they're just there. I mean, we can all reach. And of course, we need good food and we need hydration. But I'm all into plant material. I'm all into clean living. So yeah, you can make things, like I said, with the coconut oils. Another great way, you guys, to use oils is in a bath. I like to take like Epsom salt and fill up, I'll do a jar about 3/4 full and put in a relaxing oil. A lot of times I'll like use lavender and then I'll shake it up and then I'll add a little bit more and shake that and then put that in the bathtub. It's actually so calming. We get the magnesium from the Epsom salt. We get that relaxation, and just to go in there, if you don't want to do a bath, you can even do like a foot soak. It's amazing. Or you could even, if you're not even to do that, you can actually, you know, do it in a thing with a washcloth and some Epsom salt, put it on your neck. So lots of things and ways that you can incorporate them. You can, even if you have unscented lotion, you can add them that way. Like I know elementary parents sometimes like to add tea tree to their children's shampoo when things are going on in the classrooms. Right now, I don't know that they're all in the classrooms, but lots of ways in which you can use the oils. I wanted to, again, just mention that, you know, feel free to reach out after this to me, and I would be happy to help you out.
There is one question, Renee.
Yes.
Is there any oils for nail fungus? For nail fungus?
I will answer this the best way that I can. A great oil to help support, to bring your body back into balance is tea tree is really a good one. And I know that if whoever that person is wants to reach out to me later, I can actually look up, because if they don't have tea tree, there are actually many oils that would help to support your body in that. And I can actually do a thorough lookup and get even more detailed information.
Okay.
To help.
Can I type your email address where they can reach you, or the whatever the website you have, Renee?
Yes, they can reach me at renee@organicsteppingstones.com.
Organic.
It's RENEE at organicsteppingstones.com. You guys can reach out to
right?
me.
Stones, right?
Stones plural, yes.
.com.
.com, yes.
Renee,
reach out to me that way.
At organicsteppingstones.com. Okay.
And you can even send me a message through Facebook if you want, if that's what you're into. You know, send me a private message and I'd be more than happy to reach out to you that way also. Or like I said, you can give me a call. And the reason why I'm doing this is because there were a lot of family members and friends that their health was just declining. And so I started my journey by changing food, because my youngest daughter was having some issues that my older daughter was not, and there was 12 years difference. And I'm like, what's going on? We don't eat fast food. You know, I cook, I'm a foodie, and, you know, other family members. And I'm like, so I started with changing out the food. And like, okay, we still need some other things. So that's when I then got into fermentation, and I make kombucha and sauerkraut and kimchi. And if you actually go to Organic Stepping Stones, there's some other classes coming up. And then it was like, I was still missing something else, because my daughter, for orthodontist, she was born with a complete cleft lip and cleft palate. So she started actually at the orthodontist when she was a newborn, because we had to have feeding plates made. She started having major stuff done at 3 years old. and just completed her last surgery about a month and a half ago, her 7th surgery. And so every month going to the ortho and everything, I was like, Mom, I need ibuprofen, I need Tylenol. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do what we need to do, but at some point in time, I'm like, there has to be other solutions. You know, I was into the hot water bottles, you know, or the ice and things like that, but I just want to bring some other type of wellness form in. So when we need that stuff, that's great. But if I can reach for an oil, and there are oils for just about everything. And just like there are certain medicines that people use, and this one might work really good for one person, but not for this person. Oils are the same way that, like, some people love Panaway for discomfort, where other people are like, no, deep relief is the way I like to go. Or other people like, I worked out my muscles, I want peppermint. So there are so many different oils, and that's another thing. If you guys would like to try an oil out, you know, again, reach out to me. We can connect up, keep distance, and I'd be more than happy to let you try some oils to let you see how you feel and how they work for you. Because again, I'm here because I see what they do. I felt it. I've made big decision, choices in that. Like my youngest daughter, you know, she just turned 20, and when it comes to her cycle monthly, okay, those hormones are like, whoa. And so there are oils that help, you know, to bring us back into balance. And so she knows right away, oh my gosh, do I have, you know, there are different ones. Dragon Time is one. There's Sclerescence for me because I'm at a different point in my life, the menopause. So to help with that, I like Progesterones Plus. So many things that we can use. And I know that when I use that on a regular basis, my hot flashes, there aren't any hot flashes. When I then decide, oh, I'm good, they might start coming back. Not as frequently, but it's giving, again, my body something that my body needs to work with, and it's helping to support me. So I'm going to reach for the salad. I'm going to reach, you know, stay away from the processed foods. Like my sister-in-law absolutely loves tea tree. And she bought a brand, and I'm not going to say what kind, and she was using it on her foot for an issue. And she was talking with me, and she says, yeah, those oils, Renee, don't work. I broke out in a huge rash. And I said, were you using Young Living? And she's like, no, it was such and such. I'm like, oh. I said, did you throw it out? She said, no, I love the smell of it. I'm like, please don't tell me you used it again. She says, yeah, somebody told me if I just put it on my sweater and then I could smell it. I'm like, and? She said, my stomach broke out. And I'm like, please tell me you threw it out. She's like, no, I put it on the tips of my hair. And I'm like, no. And she said, my neck broke out. And I'm like, if I give you a sample, will you try it? She says, I just don't believe in them. I'm like, I'll just let you try it. And so she tried it, and she's like, okay, I didn't break out. I really like it. I'm like, okay. So yeah, it's all about health and wellness. And so this is all part of my journey of giving back to the community to help people out. It took me a lot of years to get to where I am. And if you have a support system and somebody that you can reach out and somebody that you can contact, that's really nice. Because in the beginning, I kind of felt like I was floating, trying to figure out everything. And that was part of starting Organic Stepping Stones, is just to put stuff out there for other people. So if you don't want to reach out to me, there's some information. There's some videos, there's recipes, there's DIYs, there's articles. You know, if you guys have great recipes, I'm happy to, you know, post some of those. So it's a community thing. And I think we all have wonderful knowledge, and we all have gifts and talents. And I think the more that we can share with one another, because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there right now that you have information to share with me that I would be honored to have. So I love the give and take. I think it's really important. And together, you know, we can help each other. We all want to feel better. And I think that's what it's all about.
Well, thank you very much. So this, yeah, I really agree with you, Renee. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. You did a great job, and I think I need some oil too today to apply some oil for my relaxation tonight. It's a long day for me. That was so nice of you, and it
A
was
very long
awesome.
day for you, yes.
I know, that's okay, and very nice, very nice. Do you, anybody has any questions? And Renee is ready to take your questions if you have. I don't think we have any questions, Renee.
Okay, sorry if you just heard that noise. That was my dog drinking water. I apologize. He now left the room.
Oh, okay, somebody, I mean, Melinda said you are genuine and speak from the heart. Enjoyed your session. Thank you.
Oh,
Renee, you got
thank
a
you.
great.
Yeah, and I do. And it is truly because if we can help each other out, and if I can say or do one thing, you know, to help you have a better day or to feel better, then my job is complete here. And, you know, I truly am here, and that's why I've been doing the Oak Park Farmers Market, why I do free Facebook Lives and other things, is just because we need to be there for one another. And especially in the environment that we are right now, we need a little bit more love and a little bit more caring. So I'm sending out love and caring to all of you people right now. And yeah, I'm so glad you all tuned in, and I appreciate the opportunity tonight to be with all of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Deborah also shared her thoughts. Thank you. Very good presentation. Deborah said that.
Thank you. I truly miss the fact that I can't actually share the oils so that you can all experience them. So it would be wonderful to be able to do this again when we can actually pass the bottles around and smell them and put them on, because oh, it just makes so much more fun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Renee. We really enjoyed your program. Hope everybody enjoyed it and everybody liked your program. And thank you very much. And thank you all for attending this program. And there is one more chat. There is one question answer. Thank you very much. Excellent. And also there is another chat question before we leave. I think it's thank you for everybody. And just thank you. And there are no more questions. And I think we can say good night to everyone. Stay safe.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Stay safe and thank you.
And if you think of any questions, reach out to me and I'd be happy to chit chat with you. You can tell I like to talk. And if you only have a short amount of time, I will honor that too.
Thank you, Renee. We really appreciate.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
You too. You too. Everybody stay safe. Bye.